What's the difference between being wealthy and being rich? Morgan talks about this in chapter 9 of The Psychology of Money. He explains that wealth is what you don't see, as it's income that you haven't spent. I like how he further explains this as it's like a person that's a millionaire. You can't be a millionaire if you spent all your $1 million. You'll just end up having $1 million worth of stuff and experiences and then not be a millionaire anymore. But usually people will look at that person that spent $1 million as rich. You can spot who's rich because they usually spend their funds that makes it more noticeable that they're rich. The rich are spending their current income that they have, but wealthy people are harder to find to get advice from because their financial success isn't on display as much as it would be for someone who is rich. He goes on to talk about how there's so many wealthy people who look modest in how they live, while there's rich people that have lavish things but are barely making it. I could kind of see what Morgan was saying with this. I don't think it's completely black and white in my opinion, as there's some people who are wealthy that have nice homes but may not be over the top in the home they purchase. You could say that it's maybe a modest house, but who defines modesty when it comes to wealth and spending anyway? So I think it's a bit of a gray area when it comes to that. However, I do completely get what he's saying when it comes to true wealth is your income not spent. Like, how much of a safety net have you built for yourself despite all those nice things that you may have? How well is your money working for you? It made me think of how much I'd want to build wealth that can take care of me and the goals I've set for myself. And don't get me wrong, I don't think it's ever a bad thing to spend money on what you want if you got it. But I do think it's one of those things where your priorities have to be straight, and that you're not sacrificing long-term goals for short-term pleasures. All that to say that I think Morgan was onto something as he wraps up his thoughts in this, that this is why we shouldn't go off of outward appearances of who we should follow in terms of financial goals.